Hello everyone, welcome to Xoomclass. My name is Prasad and today in this video we are going to talk about Chandrayaan-2 mission. What are its technical specifications, what are its payloads and why we are going to the moon, that we will discuss in this video. Getting ever closer. Now the moon's Chandrayaan-2 has entered into moon's orbit and now it is rotating in the moon's orbit and we are going to try soft landing on the moon on September 7th. But before that, we as an Indian should know everything about Chandrayaan-2 mission because this is going to be inspiration to the younger generations and a very important mission from ISRO. So let's start. So Chandrayaan-2 is the Indian lunar mission that will boldly go where no country has ever gone. So we are going to the moon's south polar region. Whatever expeditions or whatever missions so far conducted by different countries, only 3 countries have tried to go on the moon and they have succeeded in it. So they have landed on different region but not on the south polar region. It has also its importance. Why only south pole, that we will discuss in the next slide. So through these efforts our aim is to improve our understanding about the moon. Like you can see here, they expanding the boundaries of human knowledge. We are going to do some experiments and we are going to expand our knowledge about the moon and that we will relate with the Earth's existence. So this will benefit India and humanity as a whole. So the foremost question is, why are we going to the moon? Why not other planets? So the moon is like the closest cosmic body at which the space discoveries can be attempted and it can be documented. It is also a promising test bed. Now we are going to the moon, but ISRO may plan, ISRO has plans that it will plan to go on the Mars. So before that we should have technical capability and technical expertise, and that we will achieve through various testing and missions like Chandrayaan-2. So this will act as a promising test bed which will demonstrate the technology that is required for the deep space missions. Chandrayaan-2 attempts to foster new age of discovery, to understand to increase our understanding of space, also to stimulate the advantage of technology and promote global alliances. Also Chandrayaan-2, as we have discussed earlier, it will be an inspiration to the future generations for explorers as well as for the scientists. So what are the scientific objectives of Chandrayaan-2 and why are we going to the lunar south pole? Why not north pole? So the moon provides base linkage to the Earth's early history, and as we can say that it offers the undisturbed historical record of the inner solar system environment. That's the reason why we are going to the south pole. So far whatever missions they have conducted on the different areas but not on the south pole, so that area is the undisturbed area and so it provides the historical record, undisturbed historical record. Though there are a few mature models like how moon came into existence, there are 2-3 theories, but still it needs further explanations, and that is possible only if we have enough data, enough experimental models, enough evidences to show that this is how moon came into existence. So for that purpose we need to do the mapping, extensive mapping of the lunar surface to study various lunar surface compositions, and that is one of the main objective of Chandrayaan-2. So this way we can trace the origin and evolution of the moon. Chandrayaan-1, the major breakthrough which achieved by Chandrayaan-1 was it found the evidences of water molecules on the lunar surface. But it needs further studies to substantiate the evidences or the experimental result that we have achieved through Chandrayaan-1. So for that we need to map the surface below the surface and do the experiments so that we can substantiate that the water molecule is actually present over there. So this will also address the origin of water on the moon, which was one of the result that we had achieved through Chandrayaan-1. Why we have selected the south pole? It is interesting to select the south pole because lunar surface here on the south pole, it remains in the shadow zone, and the time it remains in the shadow zone is more than the time the north pole remains in the shadow zone. So there is good possibility that we may find evidences of water on the south pole. In addition to the south pole region, it has the craters that are coal traps and that contain the fossil records of the early solar system. So the Chandrayaan 2 will attempt to soft land on this south polar region through lander Vikram and rover Pragyan. Now this is a very probable question in any exam, like they may ask you a match the pair kind of question, and here you will be given like Vikram and Pragyan. So you should know which one is lander and which one is rover. And it will land in high plane between two craters, Manzinus C and Cephalius N. Now this is also again going to be a question in any exam, like they will give us these two terms and they will ask these are related to what, they are related to disease or a medicine or moon craters, so something like that. So you should know that Manzinus C and Cephalius N are the two craters where this Vikram lander and Pragyan rover will travel. So what makes Chandrayaan 2 special? First space mission to conduct soft landing on the moon's south polar region. As we have discussed in earlier slide that three countries have done this, but they have landed on the different area of the moon but not on the south polar region. So we will be the first country to conduct soft landing on the moon's south polar region. First Indian expedition to attempt to soft landing on the moon surface with homegrown technology. So this is again the speciality of the Chandrayaan 2. The next speciality is the Indian mission to explore the lunar terrain with homegrown technology. For lunar terrain we are going to do mapping through high definition cameras. So this is also one of the speciality of Chandrayaan 2, and as I have said that India will become the fourth country to ever soft land on the moon lunar surface. So you should I want you to write in the comment section which are the three countries that have achieved this milestone before India. So now we will see the launcher and the spacecraft. GSLV Mark III is the launch vehicle, and GSLV stands for Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle. So this is a 3-stage vehicle and it is India's most powerful launcher till date, and its capacity is 4 ton, and its components are S200 solid rocket boosters, L110 liquid stage and C25 upper stage. So as we can guess, like these may be the solid boosters and there will be a liquid stage here and upper stage somewhere here. So there, as we have said, there are one orbiter, lander and a rover. So this is how orbiter looks. So this orbital will observe the lunar surface and relay communication between Earth and the Chandrayaan 2's lander Vikram. So it will act as a satellite for moon where we can communicate from the Earth to the lander Vikram, and it weighs around like 2400 kgs. So next is Vikram lander. So it is designed to execute India's first soft landing on the lunar surface, and it weighs around like 1400 kgs. And here you can see the tweet from ISRO on 21st August. It says, take a look at the moon's first image captured by Chandrayaan 2 Vikram lander, and the height from which it was taken is 2650 km from lunar surface. So next is Pragyan rover. It is a 6-wheeled AI powered vehicle, and it is named Pragyan, which translates into wisdom in Sanskrit. So its weight is 27 kgs and it will travel around 500 meters till its batteries die. And so this is all about the three major main component of Chandrayaan 2 mission. So what are the key payloads other than these things? What are the key payloads and what are its objectives? Large area soft ray spectrometers. So it is going to do experiments to find out the elemental composition of the moon. Imaging IR spectrometer. It will do the mapping of mineralogy and whether water and ice is present over there. That we will know from this image IR spectrometer. The next is synthetic aperture radar L and S band. So it will do the mapping of polar region and subsurface. Voice and water confirmation will be done through this thing. The next is orbital high resolution camera. So it will do the mapping of topography using high resolution camera, and Chandra surface thermophysical experiment. It will check the thermal conductivity and temperature gradient of the lunar surface. Then alpha particle X-ray spectrometer and laser induced breakdown spectroscope. it will do the in situ elemental analysis of the landing site. So the next question, and I have seen many of young student and the students from non-technical background confused about this, how this mission will carry out. So through this image you may understand how Chandrayaan 2 will travel to the moon. It is obviously, many of students think that okay, the spacecraft will be launched from the earth and it will go directly to the moon. This is not how it is done. This image, as you can see the red lines, this shows the path how the Chandrayaan 2 will travel to the moon, and it's not one short activity, so it will take time. Hence, we have done launching on the 22nd July and we will be there on the September 7th. So there is good amount of time. So what is done in that during that period? So this Chandrayaan 2 will be launched from Earth, and it will use the Earth's gravity and Moon's gravity to reduce the fuel usage. And for that purpose, we are following this trajectory. As you can see, initially it will be in this orbit, then next, and then on, and it will be on the injection to the Earth's parking orbit, which will be first, and then lunar transfer trajectory through which it will enter into the Moon's orbit, and again in reverse fashion all the orbit maneuvers will be done. And as the date says, 7th September 2019, we will try landing on the moon. So briefly we will look at the timeline of the moon mission. On 18 September 2008, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh approved this Chandrayaan 2 lunar mission, and as we know that the launch date earlier was 15 July, but due to technical glitch it was extended to 22nd July, and landing will be done on September 7, 2019. That will be historical moment for India, and the scientific experiment will be carried for 1 lunar day, which is equivalent to 14 Earth days. And this orbital will do experiments. It will be operational for 1 year. It may go beyond that, but as per the specification or as per the calculation, it has to be operational for 1 year, but definitely it will go beyond that. So this is here a quote from Neil Armstrong. He said, when he landed on the moon surface, he said, "This is one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Chandrayaan 2 will be the Indian step into the benefit of human mankind. So let's pray for safe landing, and let's wait for the historic day. That's all for today. Thank you very much. All the best.